So picture this. You've poured like your absolute heart and soul into your Shopify store, right?
Right.
The branding is flawless, you own your own products, and to drum up some weekend traffic, you decide to run a simple $1 flash sale.
Sounds harmless enough.
Exactly, a
Oh,
totally harmless promotion. But then you wake up Monday morning to find that Walmart has just completely wiped your entire catalog from their marketplace.
oh man. Just gone.
No warning, just gone. So, today for our deep dive, we are looking at the brutal, high stakes reality of wiring your independent Shopify store into this massive engine that is Walmart Marketplace.
Yeah, and I mean, it is an incredibly tempting prospect because when you look at the sheer volume of traffic, Walmart commands like hundreds of millions of monthly visitors. It feels like the ultimate scale-up strategy for your business.
Totally. You plug in and suddenly you have this fire hose of new customers.
Exactly. But as we come through our sources for today's deep dive, the mission is really to figure out if your operation is actually hardened enough to survive in that ecosystem.
Okay, let's unpack this because getting into that ecosystem is really our first major hurdle here. A lot of sellers just assume it operates like Amazon or eBay, you know?
Yeah, where anyone with a pulse can just sign up.
Right, like you just need an email address and you can set up an account in an afternoon. But Walmart actually sits behind a very strict application gate.
Yes, they do.
It's less like opening a booth at a public flea market and a lot more like trying to become a franchisee for a massive, highly protective corporation.
That franchise analogy is honestly the perfect way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because Walmart has a very specific strategy regarding its third-party, or 3P, sellers.
Which means sellers like you, the listener.
Right. When a customer goes to walmart.com, they don't necessarily care if a product is owned by Walmart directly like their 1P first-party inventory, or if it's being sold and shipped by your independent Shopify store.
They just see Walmart.
Exactly. They just see the Walmart brand. So Walmart actively grooms its third-party sellers to meet the exact same operational standards as its own internal supply chain. Yeah, they are just fiercely protective of that brand trust.
So, if I'm listening to this and I want in, how do they actually filter for that trust? Like, what are they looking for before they just hand over the keys?
Well, they conduct what's basically a highly specific fit check.
Okay.
First, they want to see an operation that has been running consistently for over 90 days.
Just to prove you're real.
Right. And they're looking for at least $20,000 in monthly revenue hitting your Shopify dashboard.
Oh, wow. Okay, so 20K a month.
Yep. And you can't just be operating under a simple LLC or as like a sole proprietor.
Yeah.
You absolutely must have a U.S. tax ID, an EIN, and a verifiable business address.
So they want a real paper trail.
Exactly. A paper trail proving you are a fully realized business, not just, a weekend hobbyist.
Wait, hold on though. If you're a new seller and you've got this incredible product, your branding is locked in, but you're just starting to scale, why can't you just learn the ropes on Walmart? Like, why do they care if you don't have that 90-day history yet?
Because if you apply prematurely without that paper trail, it triggers a massive internal review by their trust and safety team.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and that is a 2 to 4 week process where they put your entire business under a microscope.
What are they looking for exactly?
They screen your existing store for prohibited items, they evaluate your counterfeit risk, and they actually read your customer reviews on other channels.
No way. They check your other channel.
They absolutely do. And if your data is messy or you're simply too new to have reliable shipping metrics, you just get flat out rejected.
That's rough.
It is. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, Walmart basically does not want you figuring out how to pack a box efficiently on their dime. They won't risk their customers' experience for your learning curve.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a brutal filter, but I get it. And just to be clear on the terminology here, we are strictly talking about Walmart Marketplace, right? Because I know there are a few different ways businesses interact with Walmart.
Yeah, good point. There are 3 distinct paths. There's 1P or retail link, which is traditional wholesale.
Like when they buy pallets of stuff.
Right. They issue purchase orders, buy pallets of inventory from established CPG brands, consumer packaged goods, classic supermarket brands, and resell them.
Gotcha.
Then there is DSV, dropship vendor, where Walmart owns the pricing and the customer, but you ship it from your warehouse. That's usually reserved for big, bulky items like furniture.
Okay, so what's the third path?
For the vast majority of direct-to-consumer Shopify operators listening right now, Marketplace is the clear path. You own the brand, you control the pricing, and Walmart simply takes a referral fee for bringing you the traffic.
Okay. So assuming you survive that trust and safety review, you hit the revenue marks, you get the golden approval email,
You're in.
you're in. But now you face the technical reality, right? Wiring your Shopify database into Walmart's mainframe, which, if you mess this up, you create an absolute logistical nightmare for yourself.
Oh, yeah. The integration phase is where businesses either build solid foundation or they accidentally plant a ticking time bomb.
A ticking time bomb.
Literally. There are three distinct ways to connect the two systems. The first is the official Shopify Walmart channel app.
Okay.
The primary benefit here is that it is completely free. It syncs your products, your inventory, your orders, and your shipping status.
Well, I mean, that sounds ideal. Why wouldn't everyone just use the free app?
It is ideal if you have a relatively simple catalog, like under 5,000 individual items or SKU stock keeping units.
Okay.
If you sell in a single category and you don't need complex data mapping, it works fine. But the free app falls incredibly short when it comes to bulk mapping complex category attributes across thousands of items.
Oh, I see.
Or if you need to manage replenishment for Walmart's own fulfillment centers, it just can't handle it well.
So if you outgrow that free app, you're looking at path number 2, which are these paid third-party multi-channel apps. Things like SetCommerce, Cadisto, Zentail, or Sellbrite. But if I'm a seller, I have to ask, what is the actual return on investment here? Why volunteer to pay anywhere from like $30 to $500 a month for software when Walmart literally gives you a free version?
What's fascinating here is how quickly the hidden costs of a quote-unquote free integration multiply when a brand starts to actually scale.
How so?
Paid third-party apps provide crucial architecture, like automated repricing rules to keep you competitive against other sellers, bulk listing templates, and most importantly, cross-channel inventory syncing.
Okay, I really want to dig into that cross-channel inventory piece because letting two different systems think they own your inventory sounds like a total recipe for disaster.
It is a disaster.
Mechanically, how does that actually break a business?
Let's run through a very common scenario. Say you have 20 units of a specific high-demand item sitting in your warehouse.
Okay, 20 units total.
Right. And a video featuring that item goes viral on TikTok. Suddenly, you sell 15 units through your Shopify store in 30 minutes.
Awesome, great day for the business.
Normally, yes. But if you are relying on a basic integration app that doesn't push those inventory updates to Walmart in a rapid sub-15-minute cadence,
Oh no.
Walmart's algorithm still thinks you have 20 units available to sell.
Oh man, so a Walmart customer comes along an hour later, sees the listing, and buys 10 units.
Exactly. You just sold 25 units of a product you only physically have 20 of. You oversell.
So what happens then?
Now, you have to manually go into your Walmart dashboard and cancel those buyer orders because the physical product does not exist.
And I imagine Walmart does not take kindly to you canceling on their customers.
They penalize cancellations ruthlessly. It just spikes your defect rate on your Seller Scorecard.
Yikes.
So paying a monthly fee for software that acts as a single rapid source of truth across all your sales channels, it's incredibly cheap insurance against destroying your internal metrics.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So let's say your inventory is perfectly synced, the plumbing is flawless. You might think you're ready to just sit back and watch the sales roll in.
A lot of people do.
But you're about to discover a really painful reality. Perfectly synced inventory is utterly useless if Walmart's algorithm renders you invisible.
This is a major shock for Shopify native brands because on your own website, you control the visibility.
Right.
But on Walmart, visibility is dictated by a strict listing quality score. It is a grading system from 0 to 100 applied to every single item you sell.
Every single one.
Yep. And if an item's score drops below an 80, the search algorithm actively suppresses it.
So you could have pallets of inventory ready to ship, the absolute lowest price on the internet, and a stunning product. But if your score is a 79, you literally don't exist to the customer.
You're invisible. And that score is largely determined by 5 golden rules of catalog quality.
Okay, let's walk through the mechanics of why these matter. First rule, your product titles must be between 50 and 75 characters long.
Yes.
Why that specific window? I mean, a lot of Amazon sellers are used to stuffing titles with keywords that are like 200 characters long.
It's because of the mobile user interface. If a title goes over 75 characters, the Walmart mobile app truncates it.
It just cuts it off.
Exactly. Cuts off the end of your title. Customers can't read what the product actually is, which leads to confusion, fewer clicks, and a higher bounce rate.
And the algorithm sees that.
Right. The algorithm sees that high bounce rate and lowers your score.
So it's not just an arbitrary rule, it's UI design. That makes sense. Okay, rule 2 is imagery. You need a minimum of 4 images, at least 1,000 by 1,000 pixels.
Yeah, I know.
And the primary image has to be isolated on a pure white background. Again, why this strict uniformity there?
Uniformity breeds trust. When a customer scrolls a search page and every single primary image is clean, brightly lit, and uniformly presented on white, it feels like a cohesive retail experience.
Like you're walking down a real store aisle.
Exactly. You use the subsequent 3 image slots for lifestyle photos to show the product in action and drive the actual conversion.
Got it. Then we have rule 3, the description. It needs to be 150 words minimum and completely unique. You cannot just copy and paste your Amazon listing text over to Walmart.
Yeah, and this raises an important question about SEO. Walmart's internal search engine wants unique content tailored to its specific platform.
So they know if you're cheating.
They absolutely know.
Mm-hmm.
If their bots scrape your listing and see it's a direct duplicate of an Amazon page, it signals low effort and actively suppresses your rank.
Wow. Okay, rule 4 requires filling out every single category attribute. Like if you sell a jacket, you have to define the gender, the age group, the weather type.
Every single one.
And missing those fields silently caps your score because customers use those exact attributes to filter their search results. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
It's the 5th rule that is the ultimate deal breaker, variant level GTINs.
Yeah, GTIN. It stands for Global Trade Item Number. We were talking about official UPCs or EAN barcodes.
Okay.
Without these, your catalog essentially hits a brick wall.
I think of GTINs exactly like passports for your physical products.
That's a great way to put it.
You cannot cross the digital border into Walmart without a valid one. A really common shortcut merchants try is taking their internal Shopify SKUs, just, random letters and numbers they made up for their own warehouse, and trying to pass them off as GTINs.
Which does not work.
Right. Or they go to some sketchy website and buy a massive list of cheap recycled barcodes instead of registering for real official codes from GS1, and GS1 is the global authority for barcodes.
Using recycled or internal codes is literally like using a fake ID at airport security.
Perfect analogy.
When you upload your product feed, Walmart's servers verify those numbers against the global GS1 database in milliseconds.
Milliseconds.
Yeah. And if it flags your code as invalid or sees it's registered to a completely different company, the ingestion feed fails instantly.
And that's bad.
It's very bad. And worse, it flags your entire business account for potential suspension.
Man. So you have to do the heavy lifting of translating your Shopify database into Walmart's exact language.
Yes. Your product schema-like, the way your data is organized, will not map perfectly one-to-one.
So what do you do if you have thousands of products?
The most pragmatic approach is to not attempt to optimize a catalog of 5,000 items perfectly on day one.
That would take forever.
Right. Prioritize your top 100 SKUs by historical revenue. Manually optimize those specific listings to guarantee they hit that 80-plus quality score.
Okay.
And let the long-tail, low-selling products just sit with auto-generated data until you have the operational bandwidth to update them.
Let's say you've done all that work. You have gorgeous listings, verified passports for every product, and you're ranking highly.
Awesome.
People are clicking and buying. We now transition from the digital algorithm to the physical reality of a box arriving on a customer's porch.
The fun part.
Right. Because if you can't deliver flawlessly, the platform will bury you regardless of your high score.
Absolutely. The physical fulfillment is where the theory of e-commerce really collides with reality. You have 2 main options here. Self-fulfillment or leveraging Walmart fulfillment services, which is known as WFS.
Right.
WFS is the single biggest operational lever you can pull to drive revenue.
And WFS is effectively Walmart's equivalent of Amazon FBA.
Very similar, yes.
You freight your bulk inventory directly to their distribution centers and their staff, picks, packs, and ships the individual orders to the end customer. By doing that, you automatically unlock the 2-day shipping tag on your listings.
And that 2-day tag is critical because it fast-tracks your ability to win the buy box.
The buy box being that main button.
Exactly. When multiple sellers are offering the same item, the buy box is the default add to cart button. The vast majority of sales flow through that button.
Got it.
Using WFS also puts you on the fast track to earning the Pro Seller badge, which is a massive trust signal for buyers.
But, what if I have my own warehouse operations? Or maybe I contract with a highly reliable 3PL, a third-party logistics company, that handles my Shopify orders perfectly.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I just use my existing warehouse to fulfill Walmart orders and save on the margin?
Well, you certainly have the right to self-fulfill. But if you do, you subject your independent warehouse to Walmart's brutal service level agreements, or SLAs.
Brutal how?
They do not care about your warehouse excuses. They manage performance strictly via your seller scorecard.
Wait, how brutal are we talking? Like, if I ship an order a day late because of a carrier delay, what actually happens?
Let's look at the baseline requirements.
Yeah.
To maintain good standing, Walmart demands a 99% on-time shipment rate.
99%.
Yeah. That means out of 100 orders, you are allowed exactly one mistake.
Wow.
And you must maintain a 95% on-time delivery rate to the customer's door. Your cancellation rate must stay under 2%, and your order defect rate must stay under 2%.
That is razor-thin margin for error. What if a massive snowstorm hits my 3PL in Ohio and UPS doesn't pick up for 3 days? My on-time shipment rate just plummets.
Yep. And if you miss those metrics for just 2 consecutive weeks, the consequences are severe and automated.
They just shut you down.
Basically. The system strips your account of the Pro Seller badge. It removes the 2-day shipping tag from all your listings, which means your conversion rate plummets.
Ouch.
And the search algorithm actively suppresses your visibility. You go from page 1 to page 10 overnight.
That is terrifying.
This is exactly why outsourcing that fulfillment to WFS is so popular. If a Walmart warehouse employee misses the 2-day shipping window, Walmart absorbs the metric hit. Your seller scorecard remains perfectly clean.
Okay, so you're basically outsourcing the SLA risk, but it has to make financial sense. Let's talk about the money. How does the margin math actually shake out if you use WFS?
It depends entirely on the size and price of your product. WFS generally pays off financially if your average order value, your AOV, is above $20.
Okay, over 20 bucks.
Right. And you need to be reliably moving more than 100 units of that specific item per month.
Let's break that math down. I really want to understand what is actually coming out of the seller's pocket before they even factor in manufacturing costs.
Well, the primary cost to sell on the platform is the referral fee.
So no monthly fee.
No monthly subscription fee just to have an active seller account. Instead, Walmart takes a percentage of every sale, ranging from 6% to 15%, dictated entirely by the product category.
Okay. For example, apparel and home and garden carry a 15% referral fee. Jewelry is an outlier at a steep 20%.
Right.
But if you sell consumer electronics or small basket grocery or beauty items under $10, the referral fee drops to 8%.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, Walmart intentionally lowers the fees on sub-$10 beauty and grocery items to incentivize sellers to list high volumes of cheap add-on products.
Oh, okay.
They're actively trying to compete with Amazon's massive catalog of low-ticket items.
That makes sense. Can you walk me through a real-world transaction? Let's say I sell a decorative lamp for $40.
Okay, a $40 lamp falls under home and garden, so that is a 15% referral fee. That's exactly $6 off the top going to Walmart.
Okay.
Then, assuming you use WFS, the fulfillment fee to pick, pack, and ship a box of that size is roughly $6.
So out of the $40 that the customer paid, Walmart takes $12,
Right.
leaving me with $28 in net revenue. And out of that $28, I still have to pay my COGS, my cost of goods sold, which is the materials, the factory labor, everything it costs me to manufacture that lamp.
Correct. Which historically is highly competitive with Amazon's fee structure. But here is where we circle back to that scenario from the very beginning of our deep dive.
Oh, right.
The $1 flash sale that wiped out an entire catalog.
The price parity rule. This absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah. Walmart's core brand promise to its customers is everyday low prices.
Right. Everyone knows that slogan.
So if a customer buys your lamp on Walmart for $40
Yeah.
and then browses your personal Shopify site and sees you selling the exact same lamp for $39, you have broken Walmart's brand promise.
Wow. So they unleash their pricing bots to scan the internet.
Constantly. If their bots detect that your product is available anywhere else on the open web, your own site, Amazon, eBay, for even 1 penny less than your Walmart listing, they take immediate action.
Like they send you a warning.
Nope. They don't send you a warning email. They simply unpublish your Walmart listing.
That is insane. They are literally dictating what you are allowed to charge on your own privately owned website.
Pretty much.
You cannot price an item higher on Walmart just to absorb that 15% referral fee. Your pricing strategy has to be completely unified across the entire internet.
You have to be incredibly disciplined. If you run a Black Friday flash sale on your Shopify store, you must explicitly exclude your Walmart catalog items or proactively lower the Walmart price to match it simultaneously.
Man. And speaking of discipline, There is a massive shift in how you actually get paid, right? Because on Shopify, if you process a credit card today, that cash is usually in your checking account by tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's a huge adjustment. Walmart operates on a net 14 payment cycle by default.
Net 14.
That means the money from a transaction sits in a digital escrow and won't hit your bank account for 14 days.
Wow.
If you have a massive week and sell $40,000 worth of inventory, you do not see that cash for 2 weeks. But you still have to pay your suppliers to restock, pay your staff, and pay for your shipping labels today.
So if you aren't prepared for that 14-day float, a sudden spike in sales can actually bankrupt your working capital.
Absolutely, it happens all the time.
Well, what about the headache of sales tax across 50 different states? Does that add to the cash flow issue?
Actually, that is the one area where Walmart makes your life easier.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they operate as a marketplace facilitator. They automatically calculate, collect, and remit the state sales taxes on your behalf.
So I don't even have to worry about it.
Right, you do not touch the tax settings in Shopify for those orders. And at the end of the fiscal year, Walmart issues you a 1099-K tax form based on your gross sales volume.
Okay, that's a relief. So what does this all mean for you? When you step back and look at the sheer weight of these requirements, like the initial business verification, the exact 75 character titles, the 99% shipping metrics, the net 14 cash flow, and of course the absolute strictness of price parity.
It means that the platform itself is rarely the reason a business fails to scale.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The bottleneck is almost always internal operator discipline. Succeeding here comes down to maintaining a single source of truth for your cross-channel inventory, securing legitimate GS1 passports for your products, and never, ever violating that price parity rule.
Okay, so the roadmap is very clear. Get your Shopify house in order first, build that 90-day baseline, apply. Once you're approved, use a solid integration app to sync your top 100 products. Spend your first 3 months obsessing over your shipping scorecard to prove you are a reliable partner. Only then should you start paying for WFS storage and running advertising campaigns.
Treat those first 90 days as a strict probation period. Because if you launch with sloppy data and rack up a 3% cancellation rate out of the gate, you will dig a mathematical hole so deep that the algorithm may never let you recover.
Well, as you prepare to audit your own inventory and map out your multi-channel strategy, we want to leave you with one final thought to mull over.
Yeah. If giant marketplaces enforce strict price parity algorithms that aggressively dictate what you're allowed to charge for your own creations anywhere else on the internet in the future of e-commerce, who really controls the ultimate value of your brand? Is it you or the platform hosting you?